Welcome to the CompTIA A+ Prepcast presented by baremetalcyber.com. The Core 1 exam of the A+ certification is structured around 5 major knowledge domains, each representing a key area of technical understanding required for IT support roles. These domains are mobile devices, networking, hardware, virtualization and cloud computing, and hardware and network troubleshooting. Each domain has a specific weight that contributes to the final exam score. These categories reflect the hands-on responsibilities often associated with entry-level roles in the field. Mastery of these domains ensures that a candidate is ready to configure, maintain, and troubleshoot common systems and devices. The first domain in Core 1 is mobile devices, which covers laptops, smartphones, tablets, and other portable technology. Candidates must demonstrate knowledge of device components, hardware replacement procedures, and configuration of wireless settings. Additional focus is placed on understanding synchronization, mobile operating systems, and basic connectivity options. This domain prepares candidates to assist users in mobile environments and resolve problems that occur outside of traditional desktop systems. The growing presence of mobile devices in the workplace makes this knowledge highly relevant. Networking is the second domain in Core 1, and it emphasizes both wired and wireless technologies. Topics include common networking protocols, port numbers, cable types, and connection standards. Candidates are also expected to understand basic network troubleshooting, IP addressing, and wireless security configurations. This domain forms the foundation for future study in more advanced networking topics and helps learners grasp how data moves across local and remote systems. Basic networking competence is vital for resolving connectivity issues in any IT support environment. The third domain is hardware, which remains one of the most extensive areas in Core 1. This domain includes identification of computer components, connection interfaces, and peripheral devices. It also covers system unit types, internal hardware installation, and storage technologies. Understanding how to assemble, upgrade, and maintain hardware is essential for technicians working with desktops, laptops, and enterprise workstations. The ability to distinguish between different connectors, power supplies, and form factors is critical for physical system support. Virtualization and cloud computing represent the fourth domain in the Core 1 exam. Although relatively smaller in exam weight, this domain introduces core concepts that have become increasingly important in modern IT. Topics include cloud service models, hosted infrastructure, and local versus remote virtualization. Candidates must know how virtualization can impact system requirements and user support strategies. This domain helps bridge the gap between traditional hardware understanding and emerging cloud-based technologies that are reshaping IT infrastructures. The final domain in Core 1 is hardware and network troubleshooting. This section tests a candidate's ability to diagnose and resolve common hardware, printer, and network issues. Scenarios include identifying faulty components, resolving IP conflicts, and dealing with device connectivity failures. Understanding the systematic troubleshooting process, such as identifying the problem, establishing a theory, and verifying solutions, is essential. This domain ensures that candidates can apply their knowledge in practical situations and maintain system functionality in real time. Each of these 5 domains contributes differently to the overall exam score. For example, hardware and networking typically account for a larger percentage of the questions compared to virtualization. The domain weights are published by CompTIA and serve as a guide for exam preparation. By focusing study time according to these weights, candidates can improve their chances of achieving a passing score. Understanding which topics are emphasized also helps learners assess their readiness and allocate resources efficiently. The content within each domain is further broken down into sub-objectives. These smaller topics provide detailed guidance on the specific knowledge and skills that candidates are expected to master. For example, under mobile devices, candidates must know how to replace laptop components and configure wireless connections. These sub-objectives allow for focused study sessions and help learners measure progress in a structured way. Reviewing these segments ensures that no critical topic is overlooked during preparation. Together, the domains of the Core 1 exam form a complete picture of the physical and foundational technical knowledge expected of entry-level IT professionals. The structure reflects the real-world needs of organizations that rely on technicians to support users, maintain systems, and ensure operational stability. The exam is not designed to assess deep expertise in any one area, but rather a balanced understanding of many fundamental topics. This broad approach prepares candidates to adapt to diverse support environments and technical challenges. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. The official exam objectives document, published by CompTIA, plays a central role in preparing for the A+ certification. This document defines exactly what content may appear on either the Core 1 or Core 2 exam. It is made available as a free download on the official certification website, ensuring accessibility to all candidates. As the Master Study outline, this document is the most reliable source for identifying testable content and serves as the foundation for building an effective study plan. It is the definitive guide to what you need to know. Within the exam objectives document, topics are grouped by domain, with each domain containing several clearly numbered objectives. Each objective is then broken down into smaller, bullet-level subtopics that specify what is required. This layered organization supports structured learning by showing how high-level categories break down into detailed, testable elements. The hierarchical format also allows learners to track their progress as they move through each domain, making study sessions more efficient and focused. The Core 1 exam includes domains such as mobile devices, networking, hardware, virtualization and cloud computing, and hardware and network troubleshooting. Within each of these domains, objectives outline the specific technologies, tasks, and responsibilities that will be assessed. These objectives often emphasize identification of components, installation steps, configuration tasks, and support activities. The document ensures that learners understand not just what the domain is about, but what they are expected to do with that knowledge. For Core 2, the domains shift towards system configuration, digital security, software troubleshooting, and operational procedures. These domains focus on how to manage and secure devices in a structured IT environment. The objectives reflect technical tasks such as configuring permissions, managing updates, and following workplace policies. Core 2 also includes behavior-based expectations such as following safety protocols and documenting incidents. Together, these objectives define the scope of what is tested beyond hardware and connectivity. Every bullet point in the exam objectives document represents a possible test question. Skipping even a single subtopic could leave you vulnerable to missing a question on the exam. Sub-objectives cover a wide range of knowledge types, from basic definitions to tool usage and procedural outcomes. Some may seem minor or overly specific, but they are included for a reason. CompTIA builds questions directly from this document, so complete mastery of every bullet is essential for confident exam readiness. The objectives document is also useful in defining the scope of what needs to be studied. It prevents overstudying by helping candidates avoid wasting time on unrelated or outdated material. By focusing only on the topics listed, learners can create a focused, disciplined study approach that targets what matters. This keeps preparation grounded in exam relevance and avoids the distractions of materials that do not contribute to success on test day. A key feature of the objectives document is its use of directive verbs that signal the depth of understanding required. For example, the word identify usually indicates recognition-level knowledge, such as knowing what a component is or where it fits. Configure implies practical steps and requires understanding how to carry out a task. Compare or differentiate signals the need to analyze and distinguish between similar items. Paying attention to these verbs can help candidates anticipate the nature of potential exam questions. Exam objective documents are version-specific, which means they change with each new release of the certification. The current version for A+ is represented by codes 220-1101 and 220-1102. These codes correspond to the Core 1 and Core 2 exams. Using an older version of the objectives document may result in studying outdated or missing content. Candidates must ensure they are referencing the correct version to match the exam they will be taking. To get the most value from the objectives list, it is important to read it slowly and examine each sub-bullet carefully. If any term or phrase is unfamiliar, it should be looked up immediately for clarification. Candidates are encouraged to treat the document as an interactive study tool, using it as a checklist to mark off topics as they are reviewed. This helps maintain accountability and ensures that every area has been addressed before the exam. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Many third-party study resources are developed directly from the CompTIA objectives list. Reputable books, online courses, flashcards, and lab tools often mirror the structure of the official document to ensure consistency. When resources are aligned with the objectives, learners can be confident that the material is relevant and complete. The objectives list serves as a standard for quality control in the development of these supplementary tools, and selecting materials that follow this structure reduces the risk of gaps in your study plan. Instructors and training programs also rely heavily on the objectives document when building course content. Whether delivered in a classroom setting or through an online learning platform, most professional training aligns lessons directly to the objectives. This guarantees that students receive comprehensive coverage of all topics that may be tested. The document acts as a blueprint for lesson planning and helps instructors structure sessions to match the exam's format and expectations. Each sub-objective bullet within the exam objectives is treated with equal importance. There is no prioritization or hierarchy provided in the document. This means that any topic, no matter how minor it may seem, is just as likely to appear on the exam as more well-known subjects. Small details such as connector types, utility names, or specific commands can form the basis of individual questions. To be fully prepared, candidates must study every bullet as if it were equally important to the exam's outcome. One effective strategy for using the objectives is to create a study map that breaks each domain into manageable sections. By assigning time blocks to each objective and scheduling regular review sessions, candidates can approach preparation in an organized and methodical way. Progress can be tracked by checking off bullets as they are mastered. This approach helps identify weak areas early and ensures that no topic is missed during the study cycle. Performance-based questions often draw directly from procedural bullets found in the objectives document. Tasks such as configuring user permissions, troubleshooting errors, or selecting appropriate components mirror the hands-on instructions listed in sub-objectives. These simulations test the ability to apply knowledge in real-world-like scenarios. Reviewing the procedural aspects of the objectives helps build the confidence needed to respond effectively to these task-oriented questions during the exam. The structure and length of each domain in the objectives list can help candidates allocate their time wisely. Larger domains with more sub-objectives may require extended study sessions. The length and complexity of a domain often correlate with its weight on the exam. By planning study efforts around domain size and scoring impact, candidates can optimize their preparation timeline. Efficient time budgeting ensures balanced coverage without last-minute cramming. Staying focused on the official objectives is critical for avoiding distractions during preparation. Many sources include supplementary content that is useful but not directly tested. While background knowledge is helpful, it should not replace the required material. Anchoring all study activities in the objectives document helps prevent wasted time and keeps learners oriented toward the finish line. This alignment ensures that every hour spent studying directly supports exam performance. The objectives document should be revisited regularly throughout the study process. In the final weeks before the exam, it becomes a valuable review tool for assessing retention. Reviewing the full list allows candidates to identify forgotten or overlooked areas and refresh their memory on key concepts. Returning to the same document multiple times builds familiarity with the exam's language and reinforces the scope of what will be tested. In summary, the CompTIA exam objectives document functions as the foundation for all exam preparation. It defines the domains, outlines the content, and sets clear expectations for Core 1 and Core 2. All credible study efforts begin and end with this resource. Whether used as a planning tool, review guide, or checklist, it should remain at the center of every candidate's strategy. Mastery of the objectives ensures alignment with the exam scope and gives learners the best possible chance of success. Thank you for listening. Please visit baremetalcyber.com for more cybersecurity information, podcasts, books, and more.